In the Puranic traditions, which come much later after the Vedic traditions, all Vedic ideas are presented in the form of stories to help people understand. That's how knowledge was transmitted in India. We didn't have any manuals or MBA degrees, but through storytelling, children were taught about life. And life means also a study of economics. How do you generate wealth? How do you distribute wealth? And therefore, there were stories of all these gods and goddesses. And now we are told that these are spiritual stories, but they're really stories about economics, which means transaction. So Rakshasa is a person who takes and doesn't give. So he takes things. So he lives in the forest. He's always described as a person who lives in the forest. One of the origins of the word Rakshasa is Rakshak, of the forest. And he protects the forest and lives with a forest mindset. He's always taking things. And therefore, he is always in conflict with the rishi who conducted yajna, who believed in transaction, exchange. So the rishis want exchange, the Rakshas want to take things, they don't want to participate in an exchange, and therefore there's always conflict between rishis and Rakshas, which you find in the Ramayana all the time. That in the Ramayana you have Vishwamitra fighting with the Rakshasas on the point of this one point, that the Rakshasas believe taking is important, that is the purpose of life, and that is how you live life, and that's how you find food. Well, Vishwamitra is trying to introduce the idea of culture, that it is about exchange, it is about transaction. Now, who is a Yaksha? Yaksha is someone who hoards things. So always the Yaksha, the king of Yakshas is Kubera. He is always shown as a pot-bellied god who hoards things. Apne paas paise rakhta hai, keeps money, but doesn't give it away. He's not giving, he's not participating in exchange, he's hoarding. So Rakshasas take, Yakshas hoard, and Devas are someone who will only give things if you first they will take and then they will give. That is the meaning of a Deva. He doesn't give things voluntarily. He first says, "Pehle mujhe do." First I will take, then I will give. That is a Deva. So it's not necessarily a positive. He has everything. He's rich, he lives in the sky, he has Swarga, he has got Kalpataru, Kamadhenu, wish-fulfilling tree, wish-fulfilling cow, he has everything. But he'll only give you things after if you ask him. You have to do Avahan, invite him, you have to first do Swaha, give him something, and only then he gives you something in exchange. And therefore Devas over time did not get the same importance as Bhagavan, Vishnu. Because Vishnu will first give and then receive. That's what the rishis would say. A yajaman is supposed to first invest and then seek return on investment. So he first gives and then receives. Now, giving and receiving is different from giving and taking, which is a contract. A contract is give and take. There is obligation. In a yajna, it is voluntary. And that's how you figure out. So you have Rakshasas who take, you have Yakshas who hoard, you have Devas who give only when they receive, and then you have the Rishis who tell you that first give and then receive. First invest and only then you will get a return on investment. And you have to figure out what kind of a person are you. And that will explain what character you play in your Purana.